If you want to become a successful freelance writer, or rather what I like to call a writerpreneur, then you are going to need tools. Now, a lot of people out there will say, oh, all you need is a laptop, an internet connection, and a phone. That is not true. If you are going to reach the top tier where you are earning six figures plus, then you are going to need more tools than that. So, in today's episode, I'm going to share with you my five favorite tools that have helped me create a six-figure writing business. So, stay tuned. Welcome to Forward Writing, where we talk about how to move your writing forward. If you don't know me already, my name is Jonathan Jordan. I'm an award-winning ghostwriter, book coach, and editor. And since 2018, I have helped over 70 books come into the world, despite the fact that I started out with zero contacts in publishing. And in that process, I have tried out just about every single tool under the sun that you can think of. I have shiny object syndrome. Every time I see an ad or I hear someone I trust talk about some new tool, I rush out and I want to try it for myself and see how it works out. So I don't even want to add up all the subscriptions over the years that I've signed up for and then canceled. But that's why today's video is so important for you, especially if you're early on in your freelance writing journey, because you don't want to end up chasing all the shiny objects out there like I have done. Instead, what you want to do is get a head start by knowing what my five favorite tools are and the ones that I really think have helped me be able to position myself as a premium writerpreneur. Because, yeah, I don't love the word freelancer. I use it sometimes, but to me, that is the F word. I prefer to think of myself as an entrepreneur and a writer, therefore, a writerpreneur. Now, most of the tools we'll be talking about today are digital tools. A lot of them are probably going to be ones that you have heard of, but what I want to focus on today is not the ones that might surprise you. What I want to focus on is how these tools can be used and how you can get the most out of them. So, with no more further ado, let's get right into tool number one, which is Canva. Now, at this point, everybody has heard of Canva, so you don't probably need me to do a lot of describing. I am an OG user. I think I started using Canva back in 2014. Almost no one had even heard of it back then. And I stayed a free user until 2022. When I became a full-time writer and editor, though, I realized I needed some of those pro functions that I'd always kind of bypassed before. By the way, this is not an ad, like they're not paying me to talk about them. That's how much I like them. I'm not important enough. I don't have a big enough following for them to offer me some kind of sponsorship deal. So all of these things I talk about in the video, genuinely, I recommend them because I think they are the best. But Canva, I mean, my goodness, I literally could not run my business without it because it has helped me do everything from create social media graphics that I can use. It has helped me create logos. It has helped me create my freelance writing course, Word Up. And just recently, I actually used it to make these bookmarks for forward.io, which is my new book marketing app that I just launched back in July. And yeah, so this is kind of cool because I don't have to go a bunch of different places. I can actually order these directly through Canva. And that's one of the ways I don't think people use Canva enough. They use it for the graphics, they know about all of that. What they don't think about using it for is printing out materials as well. And you might say, well, but that's more expensive than going to Office Depot, Office Max, whatever you want to call it. Guys, Office Depot sucks. Okay, Office Max, it sucks. Do you really want to spend the time driving over there to find out that they placed your order and then you spend 20 minutes while they try to figure out which filing cabinet they put it in. That's literally happened to me so many times where I lost hours of work time that I just started using Canva to print everything because it comes straight to my door. I don't have to interact with anyone. And by the way, I'm a natural extrovert. So the fact that I don't want to interact with someone for my print materials, that should tell you how annoying of a process that is. So I'm telling you now, Canva, yes, use it for the graphics, but also use it to print out the supplies that you need, whether it's a bookmark or stickers for advertising your business. You can make t-shirts on it now. I'm actually going to be doing that really soon, making a couple of t-shirts for me for marketing purposes. So my goodness, make sure you have Canva, and I think the pro account is worth it. All right. Tool number two. This is going to be the only non-digital item on today's list, though they do have a digital version, and that is this hefty thing, the Chicago Manual of Style version 18 is the most current version. But I literally asked for this for Christmas a couple years ago when it came out. So that's how important this book is to me. But if you are going to be an editor or a ghostwriter, you need to have CMOS because the publishing industry follows CMOS standards, not whatever you learned in high school or in college. So for those of you out there who hate the Oxford comma and you're always removing the Oxford comma, guess what? That goes against the publishing standard laid out in CMOS. So you better start putting those Oxford commas back in there. Things like citations, how to handle footnotes, how to handle endnotes, all of that is covered in CMOS. And if you want publishing houses to enjoy working with you, then you need to have this resource on your desk, on your bookshelf, so that you can do things the right way. Because do you really think you're going to get great editing jobs that pay well if you don't know the industry standards? Look, there's no way I can memorize all this. Okay. I can barely memorize a phone number at this point. So don't think you can trust your memory or don't think that you can just Google everything because a lot of the stuff on Google is out of date when it comes to CMOS. You need the actual book. If you want to have the digital version, you can. They have that option on their website. And once again, no, this isn't an ad. I just really love CMOS. I do. It's my best friend at this point. All right, tool number three is Hostinger. So I shouldn't have to say this in 2026, but you need a website if you are a freelance writer or editor who wants to earn six figures. And it's really incredible how many people out there are still just relying on a Facebook page or Instagram to run their business, but you don't own those platforms. So what are you going to do if your account gets shut down or they change something on there? Also, in my opinion, it just doesn't look as professional as having your own website. So Hostinger, what it does is it is a website hosting service. You can buy domains on there. They also just recently integrated this tool called Reach that you can use for newsletter and email marketing. Now, I don't use that. I use Kit instead, but I think it's really cool that they added that in. So if you aren't already using something like Kit, then great. You now have a built-in option on Hostinger. And listen, guys, I have tried just about every single web hosting platform that is out there. My first website was a WordPress site. Then I moved over to Squarespace. And then last year, I decided to move over to Hostinger. It is the best experience that I have had so far when it comes to building a website that actually works and actually gets visits. And I get it. If you're first starting out, you're trying to keep things cheap. There's an appeal to WordPress in how easy it is and it's low cost. I totally get that. But put Hostinger on your wish list of things you want to do when you can afford to do it. And I believe they actually have a tool that allows you to take your WordPress site and basically import it over to Hostinger. It really is the best, and it's been a game changer for me since I moved over there. All right, number four. This is probably the most boring and obvious suggestion on the list, but Zoom. I mean, you need to have a tool that works well so that you can have meetings with clients who don't live in your own city. And Zoom is now just such a standard tool that it's really kind of silly to use almost anything else. So Zoom, what I love about the changes that they've made to it recently is it just works so much better than it used to. But also, they've even built things like a scheduling tool. So you don't necessarily need something else like Calendly anymore. You can use a custom scheduling link inside of Zoom. Also, I used to use some other program to do all of my transcripts. Don't need to do that anymore because Zoom's transcripts have gotten really, really good. When they first added their transcription feature, it was crap. There's no other way to say it. It was straight pile of dump. Okay. But now it's really, really good. So I'm about to cancel my other transcription service because there's no need for me to pay for that and Zoom because of how good Zoom's transcription software has become. So again, I know this is a super boring suggestion, but don't try out every other thing out there. Don't, you're just wasting your time. Just use Zoom. Everyone knows it at this point. Everyone uses it. Even this video that you are watching right now, guess what? I created it on Zoom. Yes, I just use Zoom to record all of my YouTube videos and, then I do all the editing I need to do. But at the beginning, everything's being done over Zoom. So I'm telling you, you just need to go ahead and get it. All right. And finally, the last tool that I want to talk about is Google Workspace. Again, this one's a little bit boring because it seems kind of obvious, but I want to talk a little bit more about some ways that you might not be using it to its full potential. So, first things first, the benefit of having Google Workspace is once you own your own domain for your website, you can set that domain up as your email address. And that just makes you look so much more professional when you are using a professional email at your domain name instead of using at gmail.com. At gmail.com just screams, hey, I'm a new freelancer who doesn't really know what I'm doing. It makes such a huge difference when you own your own domain and you're able to get your email there. So Google Workspace, it's very easy to set that up. But something else that I think a lot of freelancers underutilize is Google Forms. Guys, I overlooked this for far too long, but recently I've had a couple of needs for forms for people to fill out, and it's just so easy to create them on Google Forms and then link people there. And I mean, it literally, compiles all the answers for you, and you can pull them up really easily in a spreadsheet. Like, it's stupid how much time I wasted creating my own forms for things instead of just using Google Forms. And hey, if you are not a fan of Zoom, guess what? You've got Google Meet inside of Google Workspace. I personally don't think it works quite as well as Zoom, but I have had times where I used it in the past, and it does come in handy if you're looking for one less tool to use. Google Meet will let you, record your meeting with clients so you can turn it into a transcript. It'll let you do all those things. It'll take notes for you so that you have an overview. So again, if you didn't like the Zoom suggestion and you want something that's packaged within Google Workspace, there you go. They have that option too. But yeah, I just find that people don't use it to the full extent that it can be used with things like forms and with sheets and Google Docs. Like, all those are tools that you need for running your business, and you don't have to have one over here and one over there and one somewhere else. Like, you can have it all packaged there in Google Workspace, and it just makes things so much more efficient and honestly more affordable for you when you're not having to pay for 3 or 4 different services out there. As a recap, my 5 tools that my business could not live without are Canva, CMOS, 18th edition, Hostinger, Zoom, and Google Workspace. But seriously, if I had to start over my entire business tomorrow and I had to get rid of every single tool that I'm currently using, these are the 5 that I would focus on for the first year at least, and then I might start adding other ones in after that. So whatever you do, don't think that all you need is your laptop and your phone. You're going to need a little bit more than that. You're going to need a good professional website. You're going to need good professional email. You're going to need a way to do lead capture, which again is something else Hostinger can help you with when people visit your website. So there's just so many ways that you can use these 5 tools that will help you scale your business, look more professional, and be able to attract a higher caliber clientele who is happy to pay you what you are worth. But if you are a working writerpreneur and you have some other tool that you've discovered that you want to share, then I'd love to hear about it down in the comments. Maybe I'll do another one of these videos and focus on tools that aren't as obvious. If these ideas helped you out, then you should check out Word Up, which is a course that I created to help you be able to start and scale a 6-figure writing business. It's got 28 lessons that are packed with tips and more tools and resources to help you be able to do that. You can find a link to that course in the description of this video. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to the page so that you don't miss a single video, because I struggled for years to figure out how to earn income from writing. Took me almost a decade to really crack the code on it. Seriously, like far too long. I don't want it to take that long for you. So make sure you're following so you can pick up tips and advice like this. And if you missed it, you might want to go check out my video about the 5 weird writing tricks that helped turn me into a 6-figure freelancer. And I think you'll enjoy that one too. But until next time, keep sharing your story and keep moving your writing forward.